Well, it's 7:15 on the 31st of August. It's a Wednesday. And it's 70 degrees out. Looks like we had a little rainfall overnight. We're supposed to have thunderstorms today. Power company had a scheduled power outage at 2 o'clock in the morning. They said it'd be out from 2 to 3. So, of course, I forgot to shut down all my technology last night. I've got, what, 1, 2, I've got 5 battery backup devices. And I don't know how many computers and whatever hooked up to it. The Starlink power brick. So power went out. I get up and my regular laptop, the screen is busted on it, so I have an external display, and without power that doesn't work. So I had to boot up my Apple MacBook, and then I shut down the weather server, the other server. I forgot to shut down the third server, shut down the network attached storage. Then I powered down all the battery backup devices. Power came on right at 3 o'clock. I didn't bother to get up. I was still awake. I didn't bother to get up to turn everything back on, so I waited until this morning. Flynn tried to get me up, but once I got woken up, full awake at 2 o'clock. I wasn't receptive to getting up when Flynn tried to get me up. I only see a couple of apples left on this tree. There's one there, one there. Oh. So, when I got up this morning, turned the battery backup devices on, turned my laptop on, which I had turned off overnight. The laptop takes 15 to 30 minutes before you can use it. Went downstairs, noticed that one of the UPSs, which had ran out of battery backup, had turned itself back on when the power came on at 3. So 2 devices were turned on, the computers, which I really didn't need on, but they were on. I had to force one off because there's too much draw on the one UPS that powered itself back on. It was flashing, it had too much load. And I turned on the cellular phone booster. Turned on the network attached storage. And hopefully everything's up and running. I haven't checked the barn. There's another battery backup device in the garage. That I don't know whether that stayed running for the hour the power was out. I'll know when to get back in the house. So Rita's headed down to the House in the Woods. It's a very nice facility in Lee. It's a veterans retreat. I think they can accommodate 16 veterans at a time. They've got 8 rooms, 2 beds in a room. They're having a bear hunt right now. They posted some pictures yesterday. One guy got a bear. I didn't see if there were any more. Oh boy. So I have to remind Rita, not remind her, I have to tell her. I need for her to go downstairs to the utility room and pull a computer that I have down there. That apparently has got corrupt secure digital disk. It's a Raspberry Pi. It doesn't have a hard drive. It has a secure digital disk to boot from. Not disk, chip. So if they have a power outage, there's a good chance the chip gets corrupt because Linux doesn't shut down properly. It happened here multiple times, and it happened fewer times down there at the House in the Woods. But it's happened because I was actually using it, and I tried to write a file to the disk subsystem, the disk chip, and it started giving me social errors. Tried to reboot it, and it wouldn't reboot. Well, it rebooted, but it never came back up. So I had to have Rita pull that out of the rack. Yesterday, Rita went to the Stoneville Club for the sewing thing with the girls. And I went over to try and help my brother put some tongue and groove pine on his wall. His brad nailer broke. There's a rubber seal in the piston that came apart. I brought my brad nailer over, and his compressor wasn't putting out enough air for my compressor, my brad nailer. I mean, I've used mine maybe 3 times, 4 times. It's still new in the case. So I took mine home, plugged it to my compressor, and shot off, I guess, 15 nails, brads, whatever. So I ran over to his place to grab his Duofast, D-U-O-F-A-S-T, Duofast brad nailer, thinking maybe the compressor not putting in enough power was preventing his piston from coming back up. But it did the same thing on my compressor it did on his. So blowing air out the top. Took it apart and saw the rips apart ring. And I tried to see if I could find the repair ring. But the ring was like, the ring alone was 19 or 25 bucks. Little rubber ring. So he ran to town and bought a new brad nailer. don't know what this guy is wandering all over the road smelling something. Huh, Flynn. 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 Come. When Rita got back from sewing yesterday, he had his shock collar on, and I let him out the front door just to see how he would behave. I didn't have to shock him or anything, or buzz him or beep him. He just ran up to Rita's car and welcomed her home. And Rita had brought food down. Tom's wife Christina had made some Filipino food. So there was leftover. Rita brought it home, and Flynn smelt it. So he didn't leave Rita's side, thinking the food was for him. Come on, bud. Come on, let's go. Oh boy. Got my new slip-on, no-lace shoes on the feet this morning. I noticed there was a bunch of gravel in the tread on the heel of one of them. So I took a stick to try to dig it out, and it looks like I stepped in not epoxy, but silicone someplace. And the silicone got into the tread and picked up gravel, because I could not get it all out. What I did get out was very, very, very sticky. So I don't know where I got that from. Definitely wasn't an apple I stepped in. I didn't want to use my knife to try and dig it out. As you can imagine, it's humid. It's gonna rain. Come on, buddy. I'll tell you, last night when the power was out, it was dead quiet. You know, you don't realize the noise the refrigerators and the freezers and everything else makes. It was hot yesterday. We didn't want to turn the air conditioning on, but I nixed that idea. I went down to the basement. The basement was easily 10 degrees cooler than upstairs. Well, it was Tuesday, and I guess rush hour's passed because there's no traffic. I did hear one vehicle around 2:45 going by. I don't think Flynn's taking care of business this morning because he did last night, but he's looking now. Well, if it's going to rain today, which I think it is, make some blueberry muffins. I took 2 out of the freezer yesterday, so they're ready to eat this morning. It looks like he's looking for a place to do his business, so let's walk up here a little bit.